Hey all my crafty friends, welcome to another episode with me, Marquita of Marquita Makes. I'm always so happy to have you here with me in my little corner of the internet here on YouTube, and what I mainly talk about are crafts. So I mainly crochet, but I will make stitch markers, jewelry, I'm still working on my knitting. I love crochet, you guys, okay? I really love crochet. So this channel is mainly dedicated to crochet, yarn reviews, a few things I dibble and dabble in. But today what I wanted to share with you was one finished object, well, 95% finished object, and also a couple of projects that I'm working on. And I'm making this face because, well, I'll just tell you in a minute. So we'll start with my almost finished object. Well, I loved this pattern design. I usually keep my patterns pretty simple, and I'm starting to realize over the years there's a reason why I do that. But I love the Genesis scarf that's by Talia Crochet Creations. If I said it wrong, I'll put the correct way to say it on top, but mainly I just call her Talia. And I love her patterns, especially the ones that use a lot of texture, because I'm a texture person. I love texture. Even if I don't have that bumpy feel of texture, I want to see texture and some type of print like the sweater that I'm wearing. This gives my eyes texture. So I really like her patterns. But the one that stood out to me the most was her Genesis scarf. And my eldest daughter's name is Genesis. I mean, I couldn't help myself. But I had a problem finding the right yarn. So I reached out to her and she sent me a few different suggestions. And remember, if you are a longtime subscriber or viewer, you know that I don't order from Webs because of the mishap that I had from Webs getting yarn that wasn't really up to par. So that was the only place I really saw on the internet for a similar choice yarn that she uses, which is the Lion's Brand yarn. But I just happened, because y'all know I'm a thrifty shopper, I just happened to go into Tuesday morning one day and I found this beautiful yarn by EY Select Arenaria. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. And I think it's an Italian yarn, but this is the ball band. I hope it doesn't blow out. And so this particular yarn, it says it's the finest merino, and it's so light. It's 90% merino, not superwash, 10% nylon. So my almost finished object is her Genesis scarf. It's so pretty, y'all. It is so pretty. And this yarn is an ombre, and it looks to me as though you are seeing the same colors that I'm seeing on my end. Do you see that ombre effect? And it's like a greenish gray. Oh my goodness. I held the two double and worked each transition color together to get kind of sort of a bulky. And that's another thing I wanted to say about the yarn. It's a chainette stitch. Oh, I love chainette woven yarns. It's chainette. This color is so pretty, y'all. It's a chainette. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. And as you notice, like, it's as light. It's really light and airy. But this is how this yarn is. It's so airy. So the drape and that loose end you're seeing is me. I hadn't woven it in yet. But look at the drape. Like, I'm barely touching it. You see that? And it is extra squishy. An almost silent squish. And I think it was a silent squish one before I worked it up. I love it, but I have to block it to get the length I want. And I may or may not have the fringe. So when I said I need you guys' help, if you know of a yarn, or if you know where I can get this yarn, because I did get it at Tuesday morning, which means it's clearance, so it's a closeout. If you know where I can find this yarn so I can finish my fringe, and I'll wear it even before I can get the fringe for it, And I have looked on eBay and I have done a search, but if you know of any of your Tuesday mornings or your local yarn stores or anywhere that may have it, please reach out to me because I really love, this is so pretty. I really love this scarf and I want to enjoy the fringe. I wear it regardless, but I'd be so much happier with it. So if any of you know where I can get it, please let me know. But the color is Primavera. So once again, it's EL Select, this word, Arenaria. The color is Primavera. It's gorgeous. And I used the same, I think it was the same type of, no, that was a different yarn. It was the only one I found like that. I just had one similar, but let me know, you guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, so when I was kind of like babbling and didn't know what I wanted to say earlier, it was this. I wanted to talk about some of my goals for 2022. And I don't have a whole lot of them because I have enough stress in my life and enough to be rigid about. So I didn't want to add too much to my piles already of do's and don'ts. But what I decided was, and this is very hard to say, I've thought it in my mind, I've typed it and texted it to friends, but I am going to do a no-buy year with some, let's see, not a very rigid no-buy year, but a no-buy year. If I purchase yarn, it has to be for a specific reason. Now, goals I have for not purchasing yarn. It's always easier said than done, but one, I will be unsubscribing to newsletters from yarn companies. I can do this. I've decided that a lot of my spending is from Instagram. So I have set aside a time when I will view Instagram and will I will not. I still want to support my maker friends, but if you don't see me on the Instagram, the IG streets, just know that I'm trying to hold it down and keep my promise to myself because it'll make me happy to meet this goal. 3, this is another tough one, but now I have, and I hated to do this, but you know when you're on Etsy and you favorite something and then the maker sends you a coupon because you favorited an item? I'm gonna have to unfavorite some things so that I don't keep getting those messages and temptations. I hate that because it really does help the makers, but I have to have willpower and have to do what's best for me. So that's another thing I'm gonna do. 2, I'm going to take, that's not 2, this is like 4. I can count and I'm sitting here going. So 4, I am going to take an inventory of my stash. And 5, from that inventory, I'm going to, as kind of mentioned before, set aside. So 5, I'm going to set aside yarn, write down what the specific project's for, especially if I already have a pattern in mind when I purchase the yarn. So those are the, did I say 5? I hope I counted that right. Well, those are the 5 things I'm gonna do to help support my goal in going stashless or having a no-buy stash year. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I forgot something. There's one more thing, one more stipulation to my no-buy year. So in 2021, it was like in June, Lady Dye Yarn had released their list of all the clubs that they were going to have in 2022. So mentally, I have already invested, I forgot about that, already invested in which clubs I knew that I was going to get. So I will not be purchasing any other new yarns from any other company, stores, unless I'm making something for a friend, like baby showers, gifts, whatever, stuff comes up, you make things. Or if a friend asks, just sometimes people need a comfort gift. But anyways, I will not do this year without my Lady Dye yarn because I already had selected which kits and clubs that I wanted to get. So you will see some new yarns from them this year on my channel. I forgot about that. And I'll be really good. That's all I'm going to get. Okay, I'll go back to the video now. So for instance, I decided in the end of November that I was going to do a no buy for 2022. But it just so happened, I done pretty good, but I just so happened to go to Joann, and I had a friend last year that wanted a particular scarf that I had made. She loved it so much, but I had bought it when the yarn was clearanced, and it was a Joann Big Twist yarn. So beautiful, the colors were. And I told her I was sorry, and I wasn't willing to give up my scarf because I've given away so many of my handmade makes that I made for me, but someone else liked, and and I really wanted to keep this one, and I had a hat to match it. So it just so happened I went in Joann's. I know I'm so long-winded, but I went into Joann's and I saw that yarn had been revamped. And I say that because it is not the exact same. So it doesn't have the same texture, like structure to it. And I probably should have brought it, but in case I inserted here a few photos of it. But it doesn't have the same texture and structure of the one that I originally bought from this video here when I first started podcasting or started my vlog. But it was the same exact colors. So I know she's going to be so happy with it. She does not know I'm going to make it. That way I can take my time. And that leads me to this. Another goal that I had set, and I told a few of my maker friends that I would do, and I'm still going to attempt it, is to be a monogamous crocheter. I won't say crafter because I'll still be planning and probably making stitch markers, earrings, but a monogamous crocheter, meaning that I will work on one project at a time. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but the reason that I wanted to do that is because if I just focus on one project, I can get it finished much faster. I need to not feel so overwhelmed and finish something that I'm working on, that I'm excited about, if I have to take on another project. And I would rather it be a project that I'm assisting and helping someone with, as opposed to I have so many in my mind just for myself and I just want to get it done, and I want to enjoy it. So those are my plans. Now, I have to also remind myself not to try to find other things to make for other people so hastily, and that way I can reflect more that way, because sometimes when I'm making, I don't know if this is the same thing with you, but sometimes when I'm making, my mind goes everywhere, especially if I'm thinking, this is time for me to reflect on things I want to make. And so I'm making, crafting, and writing down, and I really want to be much more present when I'm making. And I was, especially earlier in 2021, but toward the end of the year, when my mind or my hands were split between several projects making for other people, I just didn't have it together. So I don't know if that's going to be helpful for you, for me to share that with you, but it took me a long time to realize that I needed to make that change for me to not say I don't enjoy my crafting, but to really enjoy the time and process of my crafting. Just those little bitty changes to help my mindset to stay very focused on what I'm doing right now. I'm going to have to make more time for it, and so I'm going to need a simpler schedule. But that is to say, I decided there'll be a day or so where I'll just sit down and decide with the yarn in my stash what I want to make with it. Not start on the project, but perhaps work on my drawing, work on learning about more colors and more what's the word, color combination, and find an inspiration in that, and just freehanding designs. So that will probably help me not to get my hands in yarn started, and two, it's so much neater that way, because at present I have 3, almost 4 yarn bags that are like my yarn go bags. I can just pick them up and walk out of the house. Like, I'm gonna go to the car line to pick up my children from school, and that's 4 different projects I can be working on. See, and so that's 4 different bags that are just out. Even though I can kind of sort of put them away, I have to find room to make it look neat, and I just really want to simplify. I just really want to simplify how I'm crafting. And so one way to do that is don't buy any more yarn. It's like I don't have a stash, I have an arsenal now. Like, I can come at you with some yarn right now. So I don't need any more yarn. And of course, I always craft with a purpose. So whatever I have, I do need it for something to replace something or make for someone else, or, you know, something to enhance the quality of my life. And 3, to be aware that I'm being very simple in my purpose, in my routine. And 4, to set aside time for me to just plan out my crafting, and that could be various ways. So that was important for me to share with you guys. I hope that it's helpful to you, and I think I will feel a lot more organized this year. Although last year was very fun, just making on a whim. That's always so fun. But this year, my goal is to draft. That's the word. To draft designs, as opposed to just starting the whip up, because I don't want a trail of whips behind me. It's almost like a trail of kids, you know. You have to nurture each one along, and then when it's finished, it's promoted and put away. You don't put your kids away, but you know what I'm saying. It flies the coop. And I'll never have empty nest syndrome when it comes to whips, but you know what I mean. Like, I just want the process to go a lot smoother. So those were my goals. That was my almost finished make. And I'll even give myself a certain amount of time to find a fringe replacement. And now I want to show you 2 whips. I only have, well, 2.5 whips, because that larger project that I've been working on for a while, taking my time doing, all I have to do is add straps to it now and block it. So 2.5 whips. But I had shared with you guys on my first live some beautiful, in this bag, oh, it's so yummy, some beautiful Snuggle Puff yarn from WeCrochet. And I'll do a much better job describing the Snuggle Puff this time. But if you have not used Snuggle Puff yarn from WeCrochet, it is an Arian heavy worsted weight. But I don't think it should say heavy, and I'll tell you why. But it's an Arian heavy. It's listed as an Arian heavy worsted weight. The color is puffling. I missed that last time. But anyways, it's 402 yards, 50 grams. It's so funny because it still says the color is ZW57 and gives the lot number. But anyways, what I liked most about it was it's 70% cotton, 30% nylon. It does say a 4 worsted weight. It's a recommended hook size K through M, and needle size is 10 through 11, or 3 to 3.75. Now, look at this color. This is why I was so upset on the live, because I wanted you guys to see this beautiful, and it's not too hot. It's not like a neon hot pink, but it is a hot pink. It's gorgeous. And I didn't think that I would like this, with my skin tone, but I really do. It's so pretty. And here's the yarn. And I'm going to tell you, it's a silent squish. You hear absolutely nothing. Oh, and I said cotton, but if I'm not mistaken, this is a Pima cotton. It feels like Pima cotton. I think I saw on like an older, something I was watching, someone had Snuggle Puff. It said Pima. I think it's a Pima, and if it's not, it's Pima quality. This is a really nice yarn. Now, I mentioned in the live, I didn't like that little like scraggly, you can see that kind of fuzzy, not even a halo type of look. But as you saw, when it is worked up, it doesn't have, you guys, it is so hard. I need another stitch marker. It is so hard, I'm losing my stitches, to describe what this looks like. Now I am working this up, and I haven't decided if I want to wear, it's going to be a very large pullover for lounging around the house. I haven't decided if I want my pullover, well, actually it would be this way. If I wanted my pullover to work, it's a lint catcher too, you guys. It's a double crochet, half double crochet, and everything's worked in the back stitch, in the back loop. And that's all it is. And it's just measured a chain to my torso. It's just as long as I wanted it to be. But anyways, it's extremely light. The drape is unreal. Look at that. Cotton, 70%. I love it so much. But look at the texture. Oh, look at that. When that light hit it, look at the texture in it. Y'all know I'm all about the texture. It is so, I did not, when I first got it, y'all, I did not think I was going to like Smoke Puff. And I looked at it and it just looked so worn to me. But looking at it, I knew it would be the most comfortable lounge, like for loungewear. If I could get my hands on more of it, I'm gonna make myself some joggers. Oh, it'd be so comfy. But I want a hoodie with this too. I may or may not make a hoodie. I may just make a turtleneck. I don't know. But this is gorgeous. So it's extremely, extremely soft. I don't think I'm going to wear it out of my home, so I don't have to worry about humidity holding anything in with that nylon. But I had to share with you guys how beautiful this is working up. Now, I'm going to grab a stitch marker. And on this bag, I bought it on Etsy. It's a name, it was like a Favorite something, this particular bag. It had an interesting name, and I'll share it below in the description. But I have purchased, like from the dollar store, these rings. And I put my stitch markers on the ring and then just clip it onto the straps of my project bag, and this has really been working for me. None of them have fallen off, and all of these stitch markers, yes, all of these stitch markers are from Monarchy threads, and I really, really, really like her work. They are resin stitch markers. She does an excellent job. She has excellent customer service. She hears us. If you have any complaints, she addresses them, fixes any issues you have immediately. And that's my the spray, my hand sanitizer spray right here. But anyways, I love this bag too, because it's not only well made, like I'm not gonna have any issues with it falling apart on me, I don't believe. It looks like it was stitched very well, very, very well. It doesn't have a lining on the inside. There, it doesn't have a lining. I'm okay with that, but what I really liked so much about it was there's a Velcro pocket right here. And so in that pocket I had my crochet hook, and although the recommended hook size was larger than this, I went with an eye because I didn't want a lot of gaps in my project, because I don't like all that air getting in. So this is my clover hook, and it's an eye hook. That's a 5mm hook. But I love the Velcro of this pocket, and I really need some lotion to lotion my hands. But that's what I've been holding my stitch markers and my project in to work this up. And I have decided, and I've worked quite a bit of it, it's just going to be an oversized sweater that I am going to put it on the back burner, because I was about to tell you guys about the Universal Yarns pattern that I'm going to work on. But before that, I want to remind you that I am still working on my Rundle socks. I came to you might hear a TV in the background. My husband's watching TV upstairs. But anyways, I came to a fork in the road where, can I really say fork? I came to a dilemma, and that was with the understanding the gusset, and it's just me, it's not the pattern. Understanding the gusset, the heel, and the heel flap, like I really had to look into exactly what that was because I'm just that type of person. I had to understand what the concept of what I'm making, what I'm supposed to be doing, why am I supposed to do it, in order to complete it. I have to visually see, and since I knew nothing about making a heel flap gusset and all that, for a sock, I was just a little confused. So I took my time on this pattern because, my pattern reading abilities are getting better. But this is where I am. So, y'all, I'm really, really close. I tried it on and it was a very good fit. So I guess I kind of got the point in the whole heel flap gusset thing. And it's not that the pattern's hard to understand or anything like that. It's just, I was just that person in math class. I couldn't get it unless I understood why we do something. So I had to do a little research for this to make sense to me, and it makes sense now. So this is where I am, and I'm working my socks two at a time, of course. And let's see, I think I'm going to start to work back and forth here. So for the heel, or is it the gusset? Whatever it is, see, that's the problem. But whatever it is, I get it. The pattern is easy to read for the rows, but I just visually couldn't grasp how this was going to work out. But I should have just trusted the process. And so all that frogging I did was unnecessary because I was actually doing it right. But, we learn. But I'm really loving the texture of these socks. And so far, because I'm pretty much almost finished, so far I would say that I would make another pair of these. I would definitely make another pair of these socks. I really, really like them. I love this yarn. This is a yarn by Flower Garden Yarns. I shared it with you before. I can't remember if it had a name. I just can't remember that part, but I will list on my blog with the show notes, Flower Garden Yarns, and so that you can check her out. But this is where I am with my socks, and I'm very, very, very happy. Very happy. I went back to the Universal Yarns Cinnamon Swirl Stove. It's a really nice pattern. I bought the kit in the Universal Yarns 12 Days of Winter collection, which I highly recommend. They have excellent customer service, and I didn't mention this stitch marker either. It's by Monarchy threads, and I didn't get a stitch marker. But I had reached out to them with not really a concern, but something that I noticed, and it was a good thing. And I addressed the fact that I was so thankful for them because their kits were accessible and marketed to people of all different types of beliefs, and I really like that about them. So cute. I really like that about them, and I just really love the company. It's my favorite yarn company. But anyways, so I picked back up on the Cinnamon Swirl Stove, and I am using, oh, I got the bags mixed up. That's a different maker for that bag. But I did purchase it on Etsy a little while ago. And I also purchased this bag on Etsy that's holding my Universal Yarn Cinnamon Swirls kit. If you remember me sharing that with you. Here, this is what it's going to look like. And I haven't gotten very far because I was working on other projects. Hence the goal to just work on one thing at a time. But this is, oh, and I'm not far at all, but this is where I am. And these stitch markers really aren't necessary. I love this texture. Oh, there we go. It is so pretty. Y'all know I love some baubles. So this particular pattern is using the nymph yarn from Universal Yarns. It's their Rossetti yarns, and it is 84% cotton. I love cotton. 16% polyamide, which is synthetic, and it's a 3 light, and that's my favorite yarn size, is a 3 light. So I'm using several of the reds, and I will be using, and the red is called, and it's not really red, velvet. It's a tad bit darker than what you see, but almost correct. And then this is Swan. So I'm using these particular stitch markers here because it asks for you to repeat this count, repeat this pattern so many times. So it's not so many rows, but so many patterns. And so this is how I'm going to count up my pattern on this side. Now, oops, I made these stitch markers, and I shared in my previous episode with my peppermint edition. And I am losing, oh, I'm not losing my stitch markers. These were my extra stitch markers that are falling, that I was being lazy at the time, and I did and I didn't put them back in a case. Actually, I really wasn't being lazy. I was so sleepy, and I didn't put them back in the case, and so I had kind of hooked them onto this stitch marker. But these are Cocoa Knits stitch markers here, and they do not have a lock on them, but if you turn them all the way around in, they don't go anywhere. They don't fall out. You only saw them fall here is because I had them hooked onto the stitch marker. Like I said, I was so sleepy, and I was like, I don't feel like reaching over there and putting that in there. It'll all be in the project bed. It'll all be fine, and I won't. So anyways, this will be my main project that I'll be working on and sharing with you guys as I go on. But if I have to pick up projects here and there, working on things for other people, which I will be, I'll share that with you too. So that's all that I wanted to share. I guess I could share these too. These are some of my stitch markers, Monarchy thread stitch markers, like the little gummy bears. This is so cute. But this one here is by Also Charming, and I believe I shared it on the live as well. It's an adorable, so adorable gingerbread man holding a candy cane. But that's what I'm working on right now. And oh, there was one more thing. So I bought the Just So Cozy, I forget the name sometimes of specific things, by Caleisha of the Quirky Monday podcast. I am such a fan. And it's a $1 pattern on her Etsy, in her Etsy shop. So what I wanted to share was the mini skeins that I selected for it, but I left it over there, so I gotta go get it. Okay, so I don't know when I'm gonna start it. So I had been collecting minis for a little while, and I didn't know what I was gonna make. But when I saw Caleisha's pattern, I knew that's what I wanted my minis for. So this is going to be a lot of yarn. I hope y'all are ready. I don't know when I'm going to start on the project, but I had purchased, when it was a really good buy, the Knitter's Delight by Sweet Georgia. You see that sparkle? This is like, when it says delight, like in mini skein yarn tasting, y'all, This is some really, really nice yarn. I don't remember what I paid for it. I just know I got a discount. I wish I could get several of these. But I think this pattern is about 2,000 yards. It's a pretty big wrap. But the Clementine, and it's almost coming up. You see that sparkle? It's the Cash Luxe Sparkle Clementine, 98 yards. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% stellina. Now, I hope that I'm able to share with you guys these, oh, it's coming up, these exact colors. So you see it has like that, what is that? Like a tangerine-ish. It's a kind of coral inside. That's my color. This is gorgeous. And I'm going to try to go as fast as possible. The next yarn is rose. No, that's not rose gold. I told you wrong. The next yarn is rose gold. And it complements the Clementine so well. Perfect. And then, so the rose gold is 75% blue face Leicester. I'm just going to take these out. 75% blue face Leicester. And I think the color's coming up almost exactly as is. 75% blue face Leicester and 25% silk. It's blue face Leicester. No, it's not going to be a silent squish. It has that rustic feel and sound. But the one with the cashmere is almost silent. Oh my goodness. The next one is flax. It's a flaxen silk fine. So it's 65%. And these are the exact colors. 65% silk and 35% linen, which is the flax. Do you see this? Oh my goodness. And I'm going to hold them all up together once again. So then the next one is pineapple. It's delicious. These are the colors. And you can see that orange coming through. Those bits of orange. But this is a 75% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. Y'all, this is some gorgeous. Now, I can hear a little in it. But the feel, you can feel the cashmere. Every time it says cashmere, you can feel it. And the last one is, I love mohair. But I was shocked this was mohair. It's a mohair blend. It's 50%. These colors are coming up exact. 50% merino, 15% silk, 15% mohair, 20% nylon, and it's called Mohair Silk Sock Ginger. If I could be a yarn, if I could be a colorway, this would be me. Y'all! When I saw it, I was like, oh, that'll be a nice yarn tasting. And oh, I could definitely make a shawl. I could definitely make a nice little cowl. But I did not know it was going to be this luxurious, this beautiful. Like I said, I wish I could get like 2 or 3 of these and make a huge wrap. Maybe I will eventually be able to do that. I'll have to put my pennies away, but it won't be this year. Because Marquita is sticking to her no-buy-year. Shopping in my stash. Yes, I am. And I'm going to be very happy shopping in my stash. I love these. Y'all know I love Sweet Georgia yarns. I'm sure for years I'm probably going to share purchases from them. Such a lovely, lovely company. I love that they teach weaving. I'm not sure sewing, but I know weaving and knitting, and they're starting to teach crochet. So excited. But anyways, more yarn that I'm going to use for the Just So Cozy. The cozy wrap, that's what I'm going to call it. is, oh my goodness, is yarn from Gabi's Knit Goodies that you can find on Etsy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was another great customer service experience. She is Gabi's a sweetheart. You can also find her on Instagram. I will link her information below. But this wasn't the only one that I got from her. That's why I'm still digging. Y'all, I was going to need a lot of yarn. So I'm so glad I had these minis. Like, you know, you buy some yarn, but you don't know what you're going to do with it. Gabi sent me such a nice note to go with the yarns. I didn't want to take it out and remember it, but these are the yarns that I got from Gabi. That complement the Sweet Georgia. Well, they do to me. And this particular set is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. They're 2-ply, and the total yardage is 460 yards. So each skein is 20 grams. Oh, and it's called Cozy Cups. That's what I was looking for, a name. So you have the pumpkin spice, the spice of life. It sure is, Gabi. Eggnog cappuccino, coffee with cream, matcha green, tea latte, and Mexican hot chocolate. And you can tell which one is which. And this one, because y'all know I'm really not a blue person, but I am hoping that these show up as yep, they are. These, and I really hate to take ball bands off stuff, but these are the perfect blues because, let's see, they aren't navy blue. I was wrong. They're showing navy blue on the screen. They're really teals. They're teal. They're beautiful, beautiful teals. I hope you can see it now. Oh, here we go. No, still not quite right. Because if it's navy blue, I can't tell it's navy blue. Y'all know I do not like navy blue. But yeah. There's lots and lots of teal. That's pretty little red. This is so nice. Oh, I didn't really even realize she added a stitch marker. It's so sweet. But yeah. They're beautiful oceany teal-like colors. And I think with these and the Sweet Georgias all together, it's going to be gorgeous. Now, I did mention that I plan to work on one project at a time. And I don't know when I'll work on this, but it could be that I might need a palette cleanser at some point. And I will maybe start this project sooner than I think I will. So I mentioned that I was going to need about 2,000 yards of yarn, so I had to get a little more. Well, I had more that I'm adding to this. I'll put it like that. For this pattern. I said it came out all wrong. So another yarn dyer that I had saw and was just drooling, I mean drooling, over her yarns is Nanette Wake Studio on Etsy. Y'all, of course, not only is she an amazing dyer, but she uses my most favorite bases on our minis. 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. They are 87 yards each, and these total to 335 yards a set. This colorway is called Thankful, and this, I'm hoping you can see, this has a very light pink and very, very light kind of peachy cream color. There you go. So beautiful. I don't know all the names of the yarns. I just know from the set. And you would think these are almost identical, but I think the color's picking up here. And this is that pretty ballerina pink. Oh. I love these. And this set is called Hippie. Oh, it speaks to my hippie heart. And I just want you guys to see the colors. So I think this is more like a ginger. This is a mix of these. This is that mauve-y. And the colors are coming up about exact. Oh. So with this, hippie and thankful, along with Gabi's Cozy Cups and Gabi's Night Sky. I forgot to tell you the name of this mix. Let's see. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I was going to include one more set of minis. And this is by Pumpkin and Wool. And this sold out so fast. When I went to go purchase, I had so many, in a cart because she had it was either 50% or more off sale. They were as soon as she said, sign up for the newsletters, you guys. Please sign up for newsletters of businesses that you like. If you're shopping for yarn and looking for them for the best deals and updates, I had to unsubscribe, but that's okay. But I know when I start to purchase yarn again, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Newsletters. You get so many discounts, and you know about things before they hit Instagram, before they hit YouTube, before they are TikToked and all that stuff. Newsletters. So anyways, this is Pumpkin and Wools, and this is Rustic Woods Mini Kit. It's a 4-ply, 85% superwash merino, 15% Donegal. And this set together is 128 yards, and that's pumpkins and wool. So these are the yarns that I will be using in my cozy wrap, because I cannot get that name down. They're beautiful. I'm so glad I've been collecting these minis, and I really, really love the stitch that Caleisha picked when I was looking at the picture of the that wrap. Oh, and I forgot to include this. So yeah, about 2,000 yards or so. Now, if I needed some backup, we're going on almost an hour. But anyways, if I needed some backup, I was going to use some bonbons for my tasting kit if I needed it, but I kind of doubt it. And also, I still had some yarn left over from Flower Garden Yarns, this beautiful, beautiful skein. And I also like that Nanette included some tea, and this one is a cinnamon apple chamomile. I have never seen that combination. I'm probably going to love this. And these are one of my favorite candies, the strawberry candies. I don't even know where to buy them. I just know I love them. And I only see them like around in the fall season. And she has stitch markers. So y'all be sure to check out that pattern by Caleisha. It is beautiful. So beautiful. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to make several. Probably like... because I think I want another one in another set of colors, but it won't be this year, because I would need to buy some more minis for it. Oh, and I forgot this was in my lap. This is another, I guess it's a 20 gram mini from Nanette, and it's just going to be that rogue purple thrown in. But I'm not sure when I'll get started on that, but I definitely want to share the yarns with you guys. And remember, I'm so desperate to find fringe for this, and I don't want to do another color, a different color fringe. But if I do, I'm probably going to go black I'm probably going to go black, or probably mix black and green, or black, green, and taupe. I don't know, but please let me know if you know where I can get this yarn. Well, that's all I have to share with you guys today. I hope that you have I hope that you had a great year of crafting in 2021. I did. I really enjoyed getting to know so many of you and having so many fun giveaways. I don't know. It was a very fun year for me, coming out of my comfort zone and sharing so much with you guys about what I'm making and how I'm making, and I was just so encouraged. But I think we'll have another great year together. I can't wait to see what you think about my new yarns and projects that I'll be working on at this point in the comments below. And two, you can find me on Instagram and my blog, and I'll link all that information below, and you just click on it and go right there if you'd like to see or read more about what I'm enjoying making. But I will have to tell you guys that I'll see you later. I've got quite a few errands to run, but it was so good chatting with you, and I can't wait to see what you think. So, y'all take care. Until the next time, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.